Steve, how we doing, buddy?
Hi, guys.
He's
happy day. Week 6 college football already. Crazy.
I know. They grow up so fast. It goes so fast, man. Scott, again, I'll say it for the second time, smartest shit I've ever heard Scott say, and he said a lot of smart shit was like, don't let it pass you by. It's already week 2. It's already week 3. It's crazy. It's week fucking 5 in the NFL.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we can no longer say it's the quarter mark because we have 17, 18, however many weeks we have
Still
now.
struggling with that math. Steve, you are instigating us, man. You got a JMU Dukes sweatshirt. Well, you didn't hear about their little merch.
Yeah, Steve,
campaign.
have you bought the 9923?
He doesn't,
Shirt yet?
920.
he doesn't know what that is. No one knows what that is. No one's
JMU is
circling
selling
that
shirts for the UVA JMU game.
I'd call us Big Brother. We're not even Big Brother. They're trying to poke at like the older uncle they've never met.
Why don't you go down to the elementary school and pick on your young cousin you barely see?
And Steve also sent us an Inner Sandman clip that neither of us responded to. He's picking
a
at
poking
us.
guy. He's poking.
I just wondered if you guys ever saw that. That's all.
Okay.
I'm trying to represent the Commonwealth.
You're right. And I will say this. I almost tweeted this, but like deepest college football state.
Ooh. Now you're talking.
Yeah.
We need a couple more wins from the teams that are in the Power 5 conference in the state.
Deepest
That
in
can
terms
help.
of
Depth. Fucking, it's like the Marianas Trench in this motherfucker. We got ODU beating Power 5 teams. We've got JMU.
ODU's back to losing.
Okay, but they did win against Tech.
They beat Tech.
We've got other schools. We have William and Mary.
Yeah.
And it's a Commonwealth. We all share. The wealth. We don't want any of the teams to be too good. Liberty, Malik Willis, shit like that. Yeah, it's a deep football state.
Okay.
Very deep.
Haven't even mentioned some of the other schools. Hey, I want to ask y'all a question. Okay. A couple quotes I pulled this week, or a couple of these NFL guys. You know how you like to show respect to your opponent, you know, in the media pool. You don't want to give them any bulletin board material, but it's optional to show this much respect. I'm gonna give you 3 instances of respecting your opponent. You tell me who went out of their way the most to respect their opponent. Number 1, Kyle Shanahan, getting ready to play the Carolina Panthers. I see a team that could be 4-0. Okay, that's answer A. Answer B, Jalen Hurts interrupting the press conference. Say, hey, guys, we haven't even talked about the Cardinals this week. Okay, that's like literally they were asking about a bunch of bullshit. He was like, hey, hold on. Hey, hold on. Kyler Murray, he runs around a lot. You got to be ready for that. Okay. Option C, and this Arthur Smith, this came out today. Tom Brady doesn't get enough credit for sustained success.
Well, that's just
Who's going out of the way
true.
the most to respect their opponent this week in the NFL?
Jalen Hurts wins. Literally everybody could be 4-0.
No, but it was Kyle Shanahan that
Yeah, that was Kyle
No,
Shanahan.
I know.
Yeah.
Everybody could be 4-0.
Yeah,
The sustained success part is not true. So Jalen Hurts is my default winner.
But I just think
I'd say Shanahan.
I think it's Arthur Smith. We got 3 different answers because it's just the audacity to say out loud that Tom Brady doesn't get enough credit for sustained success.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man.
That's just asking Tom Brady if he has a chance to score another touchdown at the end of the game that he's not going to do
Which is great because I'll probably bet the Falcons this week.
Falcons.
Catching a lot of points, 9.5. We'll give our locks out in a little bit. You might want to buy the half point there. You know I like buying points and shit. Just buy it up. I need to offset. I'm in a real tough spot there. I need both those teams to lose. I have the under win totals on both those teams, Atlanta
They could tie.
and Tampa Bay. Yeah, that'd be a dream. Okay, so let's talk college football here. The first game, and I'm excited about this one, but it's pretty early, is Tennessee LSU. It's an 11 a.m. kick. Evidently, LSU's pretty good in kicks before noon. I didn't even know that was a fucking thing. They're 8-0 since 2000 in games starting prior to noon. Why are they playing in so many games that start prior to noon? And how drunk are the people in Baton Rouge by 11 a.m.?
Well, talking to guys down there all week, all they did was talk about the kickoff times. And you got to remember, Chris, that's on Central Time. So noon Eastern,
12 East.
it's 11 a.m. You got it?
Confusing.
Got it?
It's like your Detroit thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Steve.
Yeah.
Did you know that Atlanta is farther west than Detroit?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Well, the rest of it
Thanks
won't
for
play.
listening.
Yeah, okay.
Do you guys consider Pittsburgh East Coast or mid or not?
No, it's East Coast. I know there's some people that want to say it's the Midwest because it's part of the Rust Belt, but the Midwest can't be Wisconsin and Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I get you. Like I affiliate it with Ohio more.
Yeah. Okay.
You know?
Agreed.
Yeah, but
It's Big Ten country.
It's Ohio. Let's call it Ohio.
I call it the out of the furnace
the Ohio Valley
region. Wasn't that fucking Christian Bale?
Very good.
Woody Harrelson fighting in a trailer
Yeah.
park. Yeah, it's an underrated film. Okay.
Going back to Tennessee, it's crazy. I looked up some of the numbers, guys. In the last 20 years, they are 2-32 on the road against SEC ranked teams in the West. That's crazy to me. So when you factor all this in, I look at the defense, right? The defense I thought would be better. I thought the Pitt win was good, but now Pitt loses to Georgia Tech. They don't have their best receiver in Cedric Tillman. And that defense has to be better, man. Like games outside of Neyland Stadium, road games, bowl game last year, they averaged giving up 41 points a game.
Yeah.
That is not going to cut it for a top 10 team. So I want to think Tennessee is going to win, but I just worry about that defense going on the road. LSU is only going to get better. They're starting to run. They got the running back. Daniels got nicked up a little bit, but I think he's going to be fine. It's a scary spot. I think it's a must-win for Tennessee because then next week they got Bama coming in.
Yeah, it's a must-win for all of us. This is America's must-win, dude. If we don't get a Tennessee win next week, is not going to be as cool as it could have been. Next week's going to be off the chain, and I don't want Hooker thinking about next week. I want Hooker in the present. Like I want Hooker thinking about Baton Rouge. But all of us, we're thinking about Bama, Tennessee. Battle of the the Titans.
Cigars.
Yeah.
Cigars,
yeah.
Right?
Well, it might be a good thing in that case that LSU came back to beat Auburn. Down 17-0, win 21-17, ranked number 25.
Yep.
It'll be a raucous environment, but 11 a.m. local time.
Tennessee could be an America's team next Monday.
That's right.
Oh, man, the buzz around Tennessee and all the well wishes we're going to be sending their way next week. Where is that Bama game?
Tennessee.
Oh, my God. I might have to miss my best friend's son's birthday party and impulse drive to Knoxville. Sorry, Tom.
You won't.
I got a wedding.
We should go to Knoxville, though, if they win. Okay, TCU, Kansas.
Big one. Kansas wanted College Game Day. They got College Game Day. Why do teams want College Game Day? Because you get more attention. You get more eyeballs. Okay, Kansas has all that. One thing has to happen. Kansas has to play better than they did last week. When you go back and look at what they did last week, Jalen Daniels, only 93 yards passing, 9 yards rushing. It was not good. But I was impressed. The defense stepped up against a not good offense in Iowa State, and they won 14-12. I don't think they scored in the second half. But they have to play better on offense. This is what we talked about. Daniels, getting asked on shows, is he a Heisman candidate? I need to see more. I didn't see it last week. He will play better because TCU's defense is not what Iowa State brings to the table as far as defenses go. But I look at that TCU offense, guys. It's crazy how they spread you out, the speed they have to go vertical, and then you factor in Duggan, the quarterback, in the run game. He ran for over 100 yards last week. I think they bring a lot of problems to the table for Kansas. And being, past years working on College Game Day and traveling, I've been to Provo for TCU to come in, and TCU came in and waxed them. I've been to Salt Lake when Utah had a good team. TCU came in and waxed them. So those things are in the back of my head. I think TCU has too much offense. I think it's a super high-scoring game. But I could see TCU winning and covering. So I like the Horned Frogs going on the road and getting a win and covering.
Laying 7 points.
Yep.
Homeboy. In Lawrence.
Yeah.
With game day present. Listen, TCU scored 38, 59, 42, and 55 points this year in 4 games.
Dude, listen, this is America's favorite pet animal is just about to get devoured by a bigger animal. That's what's going on this weekend. Like everybody is all, myself included, like, yeah, we're super excited. Kansas is in. It just feels cute, right? Oh, it's a Cinderella story, right? Well, there's going to be a predation this weekend, a horned frog predation. It just feels, because don't you think most of the money's going to be on Kansas? I don't know. College football fans don't seem as they seem more immune to like public picks like that.
Yeah, I might have made a call to one of my buddies out in Vegas when this opened at 4 and grabbed it there, and now it's 6.5 last night when I wrote my column, 7. You guys,
so never mind.
On your site. I think it's still TCU. I just think that offense is real. And here's the question I'll ask you guys: I'm watching TCU dice up Oklahoma like they're not even out there. Whether it was Oklahoma being misaligned, missed tackles in the open field, busted coverage, no pressure on the quarterback, it was bad. And, like, I'm thinking if Oklahoma played Kansas this week, I think I would pick Kansas.
Yeah.
Like, think about that.
Yeah.
Like, Oklahoma looked that bad. And it was crazy to me to go back and watch on film how they create space and attack. And they never stop attacking with their play calling. I believe it's Lincoln Riley's brother. That's the OC.
I was about to say that should be the successor at Oklahoma. You need a Riley back in Norman, dude, because he's on the scene now. Can't hide this guy anymore. It was like last week, everybody in America learned, and they were terrified that there's another Riley, and he's putting up fucking numbers.
Is there a bunch of talent on that Oklahoma roster? Is there a couple former Clemson coordinators who are having rough goes of it at the moment?
Yeah, there are. I mean, I think I said it here too. Reading the stuff before week 1, Oklahoma, Venables said he had 50 guys that had never put on an Oklahoma uniform between transfers and incoming freshmen. I love the idea of Dylan Gabriel, but he gets knocked out last week, and they didn't do anything offensively, and now they got to get up and play Texas. I do think Venables will get it. I just think all the woofing that their fans did, I feel like their fan base was more worried about USC losing than they were about their own team. So I think it's a big kick in the face, and I think they will respond. But I think it's going to be a bit because I'm trying to think in my head the last time Oklahoma lost 3 games in a row. You got to think it's the John Blake era before Stoops got there. Like, I just don't ever remember them losing 3 games in a row, and it looks like they're set up to do that, especially if Gabriel isn't able to play against Texas in the Red River game.
Yeah, all that like game day hoorah shit. Everybody's like, yeah, look at me. Like we're zagging. Virginia's zagging.
I love it.
We don't need the eyeballs.
Nah, we win every single basketball game we play, and then game day shows up and we drop a couple. Like,
we don't need that.
Far away from here.
We don't need that.
You know who absolutely is beloved in College Game Day? The team on Steve's shirt. They are universally known as the best College Game Day atmosphere.
Well, everybody loves a Cinderella story, Reed. It's kind of like with Kansas, but on a smaller scale. And like the game day, that was the same day when they came down to do game day here, right? Jay Williams came and like he was like, let's do a half court shot, and fucking just hit the shot like, right in front of me.
Yeah,
and I get that shared perpetually on that sorry excuse for a ESPN Instagram feed. It's not sports. Skateboarders and fucking fuck that feed.
Sick, man. Jay. Let's see you run an Oklahoma drill.
Yeah, that'd be cool. All right,
he's put up like 80,000 half-court shots in his life.
Yeah, sweet. I've never done it. I'm in new shoes. Like I don't want to slip. I'm in a pea coat.
Wasn't that like a couple days after the parade too?
Yeah, I was still hurting, man. Like, anyways, which undefeated team do you think is which, Steve? Like, is there one that you're like, they're real? I would assume TCU's real. You like UCLA? Like, who's not for real that's undefeated right now? And maybe the question's already been answered.
Are we going to talk about Russillo and Cannell used to do a segment on the radio show, Worst Guy Ever?
Huh.
Is there a worse guy ever than a guy texting you in the first quarter of a game saying, why did you tell me to take UCLA?
Okay.
Oh,
If you go back and play the video, and I wasn't going to bring this up because I love you to pieces, but if you go back and watch the video, you tell us to take Washington, actually. I just didn't get to the end of the clip, so I thought you had said UCLA, so I went on to UCLA. I haven't even shown Chris
I have no idea what you're talking about. If I make a bet, I make the bet.
Which I did.
Macon, what did you do in the first quarter of the UCLA game?
I texted you, and I haven't texted him since. Read that text thread. I'm on the right. Steve's on the left.
So, Steve, that's
Don't
not
read
good.
it.
Frick,
Don't read
I
it.
thought you told me to take UCLA.
And that's Steve comes in here.
Yep, Steve goes, I did. You fucking fuck. Fucking dickbag asshole. Texting during the first quarter. Fucking weirdo. Hope you wake up to all these texts. And then there's no, it's right. It's these are all 2:30 a.m.
Yeah.
Love you.
Yeah.
Night.
I did indeed wake up to all those texts, and I hearted several of them.
That's great.
And
So
UCLA.
you didn't even stay up for the end of the game.
No, of course. What am I?
Oh my God.
What am I?
Father of none? Father of two. And I took UCLA one. So thank
There
you
you
for
go.
sort of mentioning UCLA before you eventually took
Has he answered the
Washington,
question yet? This is
potentially.
good. This is a great sidebar.
But
Did you answer the?
Undefeated?
Yeah, give me one that's like fool's gold.
Penn State is way underrated.
Underrated.
Way underrated.
Okay.
Yes. They should. I have them at 4. I have them in the
Wow.
playoff. Right
nice. Good
Wow.
take.
now. And next week I'll give you an early. Take them against Michigan.
Okay.
I like it.
Wow. I'm
Hey.
gonna get that bet in ASAP.
Hey,
I think
here's one.
You.
Syracuse 5-0. They'll finish 6-6.
I saw Virginia almost beat them
Yeah.
up there.
Yeah, it's about to get real for the Orange.
Yeah. Okay. And so UCLA, they're playing Utah this weekend.
Yeah.
First question about UCLA before we dive into this matchup. A couple weeks ago, Troy Aikman said, and I thought this was interesting. They can't fill it up. I can't do the Troy Aikman.
Troy's starting to sound like John Madden a little bit.
Yeah.
Are
he's
you hearing
morphing
that?
into John Madden slowly.
It's wild.
Guys, they got this stadium. They can't fill it up. He was saying that they should build a smaller stadium on campus. Now, Northwestern, who we flirted with talking about on this pod, is building a new stadium. It's smaller. It looks like they're going to be able to pack it tighter. Are you a proponent of smaller stadiums for these schools that don't sell out with regularity? Because you got no shot. There's too many shows in town in LA for old Chip to fill that bad boy up.
This is a good one. I played my home games, guys, in Stanford Stadium when it was 85,000 people. It was all metal bleachers, okay, and there was a track around the field. And the joke to recruits and even us players as we're still there is, why do we have a track in here? Like they have their own track. Like, the track team isn't even in there.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, we're getting the world championships in like 2000. So blah blah blah. This for 5 years I heard this story.
2000.
And we never got the world.
Algae
We never got the
Counter.
world championships. And they come in and we have a smaller stadium, and the problem is we still can't fill it. So people have to understand out west, they don't really care about sports.
Yeah.
College sports is not. They don't travel. It's not a requirement. It's not a passion as it is in the South, and more so in Texas and stuff like that.
Virginia.
So I just wonder. I don't know where the hell UCLA could put a stadium. Like,
I don't know. I think if you put it any closer to the city, people would just be confused at what the fuck's going on. Like, who is this? People would just walking by it like, what's going on?
I'd rather be in an empty Rose Bowl than a half-packed on-campus thing.
I don't have a take. But I know what the Chargers did.
Tarps up.
The Chargers moved to that little stadium, and they had to go on silent count at home anyways. They were like the StubHub Center.
Yeah,
They were doing,
you're right. Good call.
They were doing like smaller events in that stadium, and then an NFL team. What happens? Utah, UCLA. Utah kind of has, no offense, owned UCLA since Chip's been there.
Going back and looking at this is DTR, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, quarterback for UCLA. Spectacular last week. Fifth-year guy. First time playing Utah at home. Didn't play last year in Salt Lake because of an injury. COVID, the game was canceled. 19, he was a freshman. They got whipped by Utah, who was a team that should have made the playoff, but then they choked in the Pac-12 title game. So I think it's a big spot for UCLA. I think UCLA knows they have to outscore teams. You saw that last week. They lost a bunch of depth on their defensive line, and I think that offense is more than capable. This isn't your typical Utah team, and I've said this earlier this week. No one has watched Utah since week one. They played on Pac-12 Network twice, and they were an 11 o'clock kick against San Diego State one Saturday night. So people are just blindly taking Utah, I think, here. Listen, and when I say this isn't the typical Utah team, they don't have the big 300-pounders on the defensive line where they're going to eat up space and let linebackers run free. They're undersized. They do a good job in coverage. Their secondary is better, but their offense is legit. This offense is better than the Utah offense than we've seen in years previous. So that's what I think the mindset for UCLA has to be, is outscoring Utah, because Utah is going to score against UCLA. I would take UCLA in the points at home.
DTR's been at UCLA for what feels like a million years, and that's going to happen less and less. Like, it's so interesting to see a quarterback who's not absolutely elite. He's in the perfect zone to not transfer, you know what I mean, and not get drafted early and not leave. There's just going to be very few guys left that you're like, oh, I saw that guy for what felt like 5 years.
And the more time with Chip, it seems like if you ever need more time with a coach, it's a guy like Chip.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to get
No doubt.
exponentially better.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, you know who's sick is that Jake Bobo.
Oh,
Is he a tight end?
he
Sort of. He's a receiver.
Oh, okay.
He's kind of a hybrid.
he's actually the winner of the Coughlin Award.
Nice.
Great fucking segue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go.
6'5", 215, North Andover, Mass kid, went to Duke, was just riddled with injuries there. He is a matchup problem. I think he had 6 for 142 and 2 tutties last week. Jake Bobo, Coughlin Award winner this week.
Steve, we should talk.
Steve.
Chang Award. Who could forget? Not us. For a month in a row.
James Madison, tight end. Drew Painter, fifth-year kid, an absolute bruiser. Timmy Chang Award.
Fifth-year
Drew
kid?
Painter.
He's a fifth-year kid?
I love him because he finally got rid of number 90, and now he's number 89. I mean, this guy will finish a block. App State, second play of the game. They come on, run jet sweep. He's pancaking a guy 30 yards down the field. I'll send you the clip, Chris.
I'd love to see it.
Who's JMU have this week?
Absolute shame that kid's not
JMU
going
is
to
it.
Texas State, Georgia State, Southern Georgia State.
At Arkansas State, tough place to play. I don't like them letting double digits. Arkansas State has some dudes on that team. Went up to Columbus and competed with Ohio State.
They lost by 33.
They competed.
They covered. They covered. What was the score?
They covered.
What was the score at halftime?
That coach is like, guys, remember we went to the shoe and we covered? We can be something.
Arkansas State.
But Steve knows everything about college football. It's really incredible. Like, just pick a game. He's going to be like, yeah, they got a really good redshirt freshman that he's going to play in 2 years. He's a guard. Like, we're talking about Arkansas Pine Bluff here or some shit. Steve, kudos to your college football knowledge, man. That's why they pay him the big bucks. Let's talk pro football.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. Who's picking first? How was the weekend? I asked this a lot calmer because I know your boy finally got off the schneid. The difference between 1 and 2 wins is so big. I always wish you had 4 picks. You know what I mean? Next year, two wins.
How many wins last week?
2 wins for me. I think. What did I have? Reed.
You won on the Bengals and the Chiefs.
And I
lost on the Bears.
The Bears. I mean, they were right there, Make.
And you almost hit, because at the end you were like, and I'm teasing with the, or I'm thinking about doing the Packers-Patriots under.
Yep.
And it missed by a point. Macon, you were 1 and 2. You hit on Titans, missed Bills and Houston, and Steve also 1 and 2. Missed on Steelers and Washington. Hit on Jack's Philly over.
But that Indy pick, Tennessee, Indy, same team.
Love
that
it.
was profitable for the gang, dude.
Yes.
Back in it. What's the total? Am I back in it or am I not back in it?
It's a long season.
Long season,
and you did. Yeah, I mean, you got back 1, and we're early on. But Steve's at 8, Macon 7, Chris at 5.
Okay, hey, fuck, we're in it.
Oh, we got a ball game.
We got a ball game.
Do we keep letting third place go first?
I think we do.
No, I thought you went first last week, Macon. No.
No, I did because I was last.
He went Thursday night and did Bengals.
Okay. All right. You ready?
Yes.
Miami Dolphins.
I don't hate it.
Yeah, I don't hate it either. I mean, Teddy Bridgewater, he's capable. And here's the thing: like the Jets last week, they played the Steelers. They beat the Steelers. That's all well and good. I think that Miami defense strangles them a little bit, hopefully. But I do want to shout out Joe Douglas. He's been crushing it. I just got this from a little bird here. It says The Jets are the only NFL team getting over half its scrimmage yards from players 23 or younger, which could be a bad thing too. But when you look at the picks that he's hitting on, man, they're turning this thing around little by little. I mean, not all of them are, Becton's been hurt, but Breece Hall's paid dividends. The quarterback just got his big win to start the season after coming off an injury. Let's not forget Sauce Gardner and the rusher too. I mean, I haven't watched him play as much, but shout out to Joe Douglas. 64% of their scrimmage yards from players 23 or younger, but I will take the Dolphins this week.
The Jets are a little scary.
They're scary.
Elijah Moore, Corey Davis, Garrett Wilson.
I don't know if I feel great about this, but I kind of...
Even though I think the Steelers are doo-doo, I don't poo-poo that win. I think that was important for Zach Wilson.
And I think if you're a 2-on guy this weekend, are you rooting against your own team? That's because they're so twisted that they would maybe root against their own team with 2 out of the game. Because the last thing they want is more deep balls from Teddy Bridgewater last week. Did you see that deep ball he threw on Thursday night? Deep ball thrower, Teddy Bridgewater.
Okay, the Giants and the Packers are in London. Giants are 3-1, as are the Packers. 8 points. That's way too many points, right? Wrong. The Giants could very easily, in the words of someone who was recently referenced, they could be 0-4. They could certainly be 1-3.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones is very hurt. I think the Packers get right after a so-so performance against the Pats. I don't think this is particularly close. I think the Packers win by between 14 and 16 points, Steve, in London.
Oh, okay.
A big day for Dobbs in London.
Dobbs, Lazard,
Dobbs.
the backs.
All right.
The Giants are just they're banged up everywhere. This has been a fun ass start, but come back to earth a little bit in London town.
All right. Not many times you can go on the road in the NFL and still have a home game. Cowboys at the Rams. Fishy. Not sure why, but I still think it's a field goal game. That defense travels. I will take the Cowboys.
It's fishy because of what, Steve? You think it's fishy that the Cowboys are in this game, according to Vegas?
I don't think the Rams should be given this many points.
Rams, I think 4.5.
I think the Cowboys win this game.
Oh, I got 5.5.
I think the Cowboys win this game.
It's at 5 now.
Well, that's good for you, right? You're taking the dog.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's not so good that Macon's short.
My bad.
But we go on win bet lines. But at the time we give it out.
5 points.
Because I gave the Saints out last week. I didn't give them out, but I gave them out unofficially. And people were doing a victory dance because I fucking pushed on that bet. But it was 3.5 at kick. So we're going off it right now, right?
Yeah, dog.
Yeah,
right.
Dog.
Yep.
All right. Is it me again?
Yes, sir.
Snake draft.
Opposite of a snake draft.
That's the joke. Thank you for explaining it. All right, Houston catching a touchdown against the team.
That's the right pick.
That's the right pick because Jacksonville just played a fucking physical football game on the road in the rain. They kind of came back down to earth a little bit. They lost the turnover battle. Houston, the second half of that ball game, Mills was cooking a little bit. So give me Houston. Keeping it close. It's a fucking AFC South slugfest.
Battle.
I'm with you. And if we're going by win bet right now, 6.5. I don't. I cower as I say that. I cower.
Okay.
I'm willing to give you 7 because your name's on the show.
Can I buy a half point and give it out at 7?
Done
you guys,
deal.
and if you guys want to buy a half point, I think that's probably
All
fair
right.
today because I'm doing it.
Okay.
I'll buy a half point.
Okay. Everyone is on the Seattle Seahawks. I will zag. I'll say that the Saints return from London and get right. London themed to my picks. Andy Dalton is just fine, and Chris Olave is good, and Kamara's back, and the Saints defense has not yet shown it. Maybe they show it this week against a Seattle team that's very likely very bad. They just happened to score 48 last week.
I'm interested to see where the money is because you would think all the money would be on Seattle in a weird way because it's a lot of points, and it feels like the right zag here is
Saints.
Is
Saints
the
minus 4.5.
Yeah,
at home. No bye after London. I still like the Saints. 2 big favorites for me thus far.
Another line makes no sense. It's going against the best team in football, in my opinion. I will take the Cardinals at home.
Oh,
good pick.
Hurts is going to. They're going to score points. It's going to be a yeah.
Okay. Tyler's going to be running all over. I'd like to see Arizona score a point in the first quarter one of these weeks. That would help.
This feels like lighting money on fire and like an incredibly dumb pick to give out, but I'm giving it out because it stinks like a corpse. The Washington Commanders.
I noticed. Yeah,
Washington Commanders. 1.5? What do you have it at win bet? 2. Oh, good.
Now, Steve fell into this trap last week.
Yeah.
As did I in real life.
No, I know, but it can't be 2 weeks in a row. Maybe Vegas is doing a thing where they're trying to They're trying to fuck the sharps, you know? It stinks to high heaven, dude.
Tennessee, a 2-point favorite in Washington.
I'm like Ice-T rolling up on a crime scene. Oh my God! What the fuck is this? Carson Wentz threw 5 picks last week. They're not competitive. Go ahead.
Chris, who has the smallest fan base in the NFL?
Smallest fan base in the NFL. Well, the Jags are out of it because the Jags fans are all in London.
Context clues, I'll say Titans.
No, I don't think so. I think the Titans have... Hold on. Hold on. Can somebody tell me some NFL teams?
Do you have an answer?
I think it's the Commanders.
Oh,
I really
they're all over the place, dude.
No. Hands up. Who are we? The Commanders. Did you see that?
Left hand up.
Left hand up. How are there enough people in that room to get that music video done? How is the production quality of that music video so decent?
I could give there's a couple guys I know that still root for the team, and you could give them free tickets, the best seats in the house, a car service, the whole thing. They still won't go.
Oust Daniel Snyder, put the stadium an hour closer because it takes 2.5 to get there from wherever, and be over 500 for once, and they'll be right back.
No one pay attention to how tight the shots are Sunday.
Dude, I want to give
people don't go. I'll grant you that.
Here's an outside the box answer. How many Bills fans are there truly? Like true Bills fans that didn't just jump on the bandwagon. It's not a huge city, right? They've been through a lot. Like all these Johnny-come-lately guys, like you, me.
I think all the Jim Kelly years, all the Super Bowl teams.
Yeah, maybe, but those guys are all dead now. Not Jim Kelly and them, but just like that was a long time ago. I'm joking. It was the early 90s. But I want to throw them in. I don't know who Miami, dude. You can't possibly all be Miami Dolphins fans. You just hopped over here after Cristobal inherited. Well,
how about the Cardinals?
How about the Chargers?
How about the Rams?
The LA Rams, yeah. So no offense to any of these people. We know you love your team.
I think it's a valid
numbers
question.
game. You know? Okay. Is that all the picks?
No, sir.
Okay.
One more round.
I come prepared with 5, because I know a couple might get taken. Indeed.
Did Chris do his third?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Indeed, Houston and
I had that stinky ass Washington pick.
He's on the
that's right.
He's on the contenders. Houston and Arizona have been sniped, which I liked a lot better than this one. I hate this pick. I hate it, and I need to look at what the line is right now. I'm going to Sunday night, okay? And I think everybody's going to be on one side, and I'm going to be on the other. 3.5, motherfucker.
Who's playing Sunday night?
It's Cincinnati and Baltimore.
You think everybody's going to be on Cincy?
Yep, and I'm on the Baltimore Ravens. Listen.
I don't know.
The Ravens have trailed.
Ravens are good.
The Ravens have trailed for about 10 seconds this season and happen to be 2-2 at home on a Sunday night. I like the infighting,
Yeah.
We're going to rally around the infighting, and it's Lamar's MVP season part 2.
Give out the Ravens first half.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, because then you don't,
In the spirit of buying the half point, I'll go back down to a field goal here. Baltimore by 3 this week.
Do that.
Friday.
Do that. Half point Friday.
Half point Friday.
It's perfect.
Baltimore by 3. I like philosophically. I like Cincy in this spot, but they haven't really put it all together yet. Even being on Cincy on Thursday night against Miami and Teddy covers was frightening.
I know I'm going to bet that game. I just don't know which way. I'll decide Sunday night at 7:58, as
Baltimore.
I always do. Okay.
I'm going to look at this, hoping we get a key player back. But Shanahan said the Panthers could be 4-0. The Cleveland Browns should be 4-0.
Just scary.
I expect Garrett to be back. I like him.
Yeah, it's a great pick, Steve. And, if it's half point Friday, if it's 2.5, grab a half point here. Is it 2.5?
Get it to 3.
Is it get it to? Let's give him to 3 because I think the Browns might win that game outright.
Has the Browns kicker made a kick since?
It doesn't matter. They're going to run the ball so far up Brandon Staley's ass. They're going to be able to tell you if his prostate's good. Like it's just they're going to be off tackle all day. There's a guy that's had his prostate checked. Look at the way he's laughing. Always be prepared. Yeah, it's true. Always be prepared. But they're going to run the ball up their ass, man. And I don't know where Joey Bosa is. He's out for a while, right?
No, that groin. His brother had the same thing. I want to say
groins are the worst.
Yeah, the brother had a Ohio State.
They linger. Okay, talking about this slate here. I just want to say this. This slate is low key cheeks. Okay, you have literally 2 teams who are 500 or above playing each other. Giants, Packers, and Ravens, Bengals. That's it. The line's 8, as you pointed out astutely. It should be higher. And then Ravens, Bengals is going to be a good football game. But there's 6 games, a touchdown or more. On when it comes to the spread. So, the slate kind of sucks.
We haven't mentioned it. Buffalo 14-point favorites against Pittsburgh. Do we believe in Tomlin?
I believe in Tomlin. Keep that thing close.
Really?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
They beat him last year.
Yeah.
Okay.
On the field.
Yeah, it was wild, actually. That was a crazy game, right? Wasn't that it was super windy at night? Was that it?
No, that was
when they beat them.
That was another. Yeah, it was week 1 last year.
Week 1, right.
Week 1 last year. So I think TJ Watt had a touchdown.
Well, he's not going to have a touchdown this weekend.
No.
Injured bad. Okay, yeah, we got to do – this is a good time for this. First off, I just want to point this out. Shaq Leonard, broken nose and a concussion.
I know.
Your move, hockey.
That.
Same thing with a guy coming back from a gunshot wound. Like, hockey, your sport is soft.
But to be fair, he's not playing.
But he's still coming back,
though.
All right. He's coming back.
Okay.
He's doing something.
Yep.
Who's sleeping best in the NFL presented by Helix? Helix.com/greenlight, up to $200 off all mattress orders. And 2 free pillows to our listeners.
Oh, that's nice.
You guys are going to give your best sleeping NFL, whether it's a player, a team, coach. Start with Steve. Who is sleeping best in the NFL this week?
What's the talent get for the mattress?
You want a mattress, Steve? We got a mattress. We'll send you a mattress.
That's so good. What does the talent do? He wants to do one segment on mattresses. He wants a segment, or he wants a fucking mattress. He's a beauty. Hey, go ahead.
I'll give you one right here. Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn is sleeping very well.
Yeah.
The defense is dominant. He has everything he wants. The other team doesn't know where he's going to line up Micah Parsons. I think Dan Quinn is sleeping very well as of late.
Patrick Mahomes. They own the Raiders, dude. They own them. They just really busted out last week. They were pissed off. They were angry. He was in revenge mode. He also hates the Raiders, I think. You remember when our guy, possibly Unique Ngakoue, stomped on the logo last year? It's not going to be hard for him to Michael Jordan some shit this week. He's sleeping well. They got them figured out.
Alvin Kamara is
a long time to sleep. Monday night.
Is sleeping extremely well. Cat's only played 2 games this season.
Yeah, you're right.
24 carries for 100 yards. He wakes up this week.
With jet lag, if he had to go. Did he have to go?
He had to go.
So maybe not.
You know who also has to go? Shout out Landon Collins, newest New York Giant.
Yeah.
Linebacker.
Landon Collins signed to the practice squad, but he's got to fly to London just to fly back.
Oh, damn. Yeah.
Be with the fellas, I guess. Reintroduce himself. Not sleeping well, Landon Collins.
Okay, so Alvin, that's pretty good. Now we've got to give our matchup of the week. And I'm going to go Dan Campbell and Bill Belichick. The Lions really need a win, dude. They need a win so badly. And on paper, you might think they can hang with these guys, but I feel like the Patriots are going to unapologetically just assault them with the run game. and figure out ways to scheme up Aaron Glenn, and then defensively, Jared Goff. Like, that's the way Bill's thinking.
Well, let me piggyback.
Yeah.
Matt Patricia, defaulto. That's a combo of default and de facto offensive coordinator versus the Detroit Lions.
Yeah. That's good.
Potentially working with
that's good.
Who? Bailey Zappi?
That's really good. You really get a chance to show them, Matt. But I just can't wait to see that handshake. I want to know if Bill respects Dan the way we respect Dan. I want to see, the way he had Aaron Rodgers in the camel clutch last week. Cuz Dan would have been a perfect Patriot, bro. As a tight end. He would I think he's going to pull him in close Sunday, and he's going to be like, listen, we got a spot. Your defense keeps giving up 50. Like, come over here, and we'll get in 22 personnel.
When they signed Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith, I was like, holy smokes, that's going to be unstoppable.
Yeah, no, that fizzled.
Yeah. They caught like 9 balls.
Yeah, that was tough. Gonna be Mr. 12 personnel. Go ahead, Steve. Who's your matchup of the week?
Tough to top that one from Macon. He came prepared. I'm going to go Stefanski against Staley. You say it's going to happen. I want to see it happen. I still don't understand Stefanski's insistence on not wanting to kick field goals. I know his guys missed them, but you don't have to go for every fourth down on your first drive of the game and get some momentum out of that. But I think it's a great matchup with Stefanski against Staley.
Hey, how about this? Tonight, your yesterday, we get Matt Ryan and Russell Wilson. Once upon a time in the playoffs, Atlanta, Seattle, that was a fucking shootout. It was fun. Not so much now. Tired. Matt Ryan, Russell Wilson wired Geno versus Andy Dalton. That matchup is the real matchup at quarterback this weekend. So, Steve, appreciate the time, my dude. Is there anything else we're forgetting? We got any awards we're forgetting?
No, I have one question for you guys, okay?
Yeah.
A&M is playing Alabama. Their team total is 13.5. BC, red bandana game against Clemson. Their team total is 13.5. Who scores more? BC
A&M.
or A&M?
A&M.
Okay.
It's the red bandana game. Give me BC.
A&M.
Knowing nothing about Boston College other than this kid made an incredible catch last week for Boston College. Guy's going to be an NFL player.
Good player.
A&M has dudes.
Yeah, but they also have the yell practice, which I asked Von Miller about, and he kind of was like, no, it's cool. I was like, all right, well, we're not going to. So anyways, Steve, thanks for the time, bro. We'll catch you this weekend when we text you in the first quarter of the UCLA game.
From one fucking weirdo to another, Steve. I love you. Love you so much.
I love you too, buddy.
Take care. Listen to the full podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and other podcast streaming platforms. Wherever you want to get the podcast, you can get the podcast. Pretty simple. New episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. Podcasts get pretty wild. This is real tame.